Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create your logo starting from your research and some of the questions you need to ask yourself as a designer before you can create any logo for a brand. Okay, so follow me carefully. I want to make this a series whereby we can follow step by step based on what I'm going to be releasing here for you to learn and practice. So after watching this one, there are other related tutorials I've also made concerning logos. So just do well to go there and learn from there so that you can follow this series. Okay, so if you look at the word logo, I know so many people have been so confused about the word logo. Some people bring mockups and they call it logo. Some people do so many things, and call it a logo. But the truth is, a logo is a unique mark. That is to say, it's a graphic mark which is unique. It can be a symbol, it can be an emblem. Okay, the purpose of this unique mark or unique graphic mark is to enable you differentiate a company from another. So whenever we hear the word logo, a logo serves as a representative of a brand. Okay, and whenever you want to create a logo, you should always know the brand you are creating for. Okay, the purpose of that logo, the audience, that is the target audience of that brand or company, and other key questions you have to ask before you jump into creating a logo. Now, you don't just create a logo, you should also ask yourself, under which category is this kind of logo? I hope you are following. Now, creating a logo is not like a flyer. Logos are very expensive when creating because it is not like a flyer you can change anytime. It is what your company is all about. Whenever you are not there, your logo can speak for you. That is why we have different logos and you can easily identify which brand is this, which company is this, etc. Example, just take a look at my own logo. You won't see this kind of logo anywhere exactly as this. Why? I didn't copy this logo from anywhere when I was doing it or when I was creating it. I just thought of something very simple. Okay, this is my brand logo. Now there are so many things you have to consider when creating a logo. Okay, so whenever you are creating a logo, you have to watch out for these things I'm going to list for you. Okay, it's not all about you owning a nice system, a nice software. Owning your system and just jump into anything. You discover that you just end up doing any random thing, and in the end you won't even like it. The client won't even like it because one, color selection is also included, the typography is also included. So all these things you must put into consideration. Like I said, you must ask yourself, you must know the services this brand is all about. Okay, you must also look at simplicity. That is to say, you shouldn't do something that somebody can, or the client or the target audience can remember this brand easily. Okay, so look at simplicity. Don't make it too complex that it's difficult for the client to understand or to easily remember. Okay, now you should also look at how scalable is this logo. How scalable is it? If you should place this logo on a flyer, will it look nice? If you should place this logo on a site, will it be nice? Other places, or if you want to use it for branding, will it come out well? The colors and everything, will it come out well? So in this aspect, the scalability is very, very important because it will enable you test so many platforms. Okay, now you also look at the uniqueness. That uniqueness means, can this brand be differentiated from other brands easily? Okay, that is to say, your logo should always stand out and not to confuse brands, because if you go and do a copy and paste logo, or a logo that looks like someone's brand, you discover that the brands will be conflicting. You can call the brand and another person will call same brand, but they're having different representation in terms of logo. So always make sure you research first so you know if there is an existing brand carrying this thing that you have in mind. Again, always sketch your logo. You might say you're not an artist, you cannot draw and the rest. That is why pencils have erasers. Draw the nonsense and erase. Inside that nonsense, you'll definitely see one you will pick. Okay, So let's move into the different categories of logos. Okay, now I want to make this tutorial as simple as anything because I want you to follow carefully. Let's look at different categories. Now we have the letter mark. It's also called monogram. Okay, the letter mark. Now a letter mark is a type-based logo. When you hear type-based, like saying typeface, I just want to shorten it, type-based, okay, logo, okay, made of a few letters. I want this explanation to stick into your head before you create any logo. Like I say a letter mark is a type-based logo made of few letters. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that this kind of logo, okay, is often used if a company's name is made of what? Of two or more words. I hope you are following. Okay, so a letter mark here will just shorten the company's name. Okay, when you shorten that company name to only use the initials, okay, just the initials of the company, that is what of the name of the company, that's what it's going to use, and that is why it will now fall down towards simplicity. Okay, example of these logos are LG. Look at LG, look at HP, Gucci, etc. Okay, and some other logos that fall under letter mark. So instead of you to use the full name of the company, you shorten it to either a letter or initials of the company name. Okay. Now another logo is word mark. Now a word mark focuses on the business name alone. That is to say, if the company's name, okay, has a word like let's see, Coca-Cola, you can see very well that the name alone, Coca-Cola, is the logo on its own. And you've seen how the fancy typeface is being used. That alone is what? A word mark. Like I said, example, you have your Coca-Cola, you have your FedEx, you have your Google. Okay, these logos fall under word mark because, as you can see, once you call it, it's like sounding like a word. Okay, but they are all product of what? The main business name. Okay, now we have another category of this logo. We have the pictorial mark. You can also call it brand mark. Okay, it's called pictorial mark or brand mark. Now a pictorial mark or brand mark refers to a graphic based logo. Take note, I hope you are following. I say a pictorial mark or brand mark refers to a graphic based logo. Okay, it is usually an icon. Okay, it's usually what? An icon that has been simplified, and again, you have stylized it to represent a brand. You simplify it, you have to stylize it to what? Represent a brand. Now if you look at logos like Pepsi, Apple, Nike, and and the rest, you will discover that this fall under pictorial logo, or you can call it pictorial mark. Okay, that is that. I've given examples. Now if you look at your abstract mark, okay, your abstract mark, if you look at your abstract mark, that is another category of logo. You discover that an abstract mark an abstract mark logo is the opposite of a pictorial mark. Don't get confused. That's why I said you must understand this. Is the opposite of a pictorial mark or brand mark. That is to say, the opposite of your pictorial mark or brand mark is what? Abstract. So an abstract mark is not based on real objects. Okay, instead it is an abstract geometric representation that represent a business. Okay, examples are like your Instagram, your YouTube, Microsoft. You can look at Adidas. Mind you, these logos, remember, we have other categories. So in between, if I mention same logo, okay, and it's like the examples are the same, just follow the definition. You understand why I mentioned these same logos. Now let's move to the next category, which is emblem. Now if you look at emblem, if you look at schools like universities, most of them they use emblems, okay, as their logo. So an emblem logo is a mark in which the name of the business is contained with a single shape. Okay, that is to say, the name of a business is what? Contained within a single shape. An emblem is not even necessarily just for the corporate world. Okay, you can see this emblem, like I said, can represent schools or sports team, even food, drinks, etc. Okay, there are different emblems. If you look at your drink like Budweiser, those that drink those kind of drinks, you can see that their logo falls under emblem. Now we have another category called mascots. Okay, mascots here, they include stylized illustrator characters. That is to say, they use characters that are being illustrated, okay, and it forms a logo. These characters can be animated and can become a brand spokesperson, okay. Now, if you look at example is look at Pringles logo. Pringles, it falls under mascot, okay. Why? Because just like I've explained here, the stylized illustrator characters that can be animated and become a brand spokesman or spokesperson, okay. Now let's look at another category, combination mark. If you look at your combination mark, a combination mark is a mix of a word mark and an abstract or pictorial mark or even mascot. Don't get confused. When you hear the word combination, you're trying to say that different categories of these other logos are being put together just to produce one. That is why it's called combination mark. So you might find out that the examples might be similar to the previous I've mentioned, okay. The layout of this mark, okay, it can vary depending on the elements, okay. So when you're creating a logo, you should know which category your logo falls into. Example of this combination mark, you look at Bluetooth, you look at Puma logo, you look at maybe Microsoft, okay, etc. Okay, so you can see that this combination has to do with different categories put together. Now we also have favicon. Okay, favicon here, is the shortcut icon. It's a shortcut icon. To the layman, that is what I'll say. Okay, it has it's based on the primary logo that is used on the website, for branding purposes, etc. Okay, now if you look at your website, whenever you want to browse and for example Google, you type Google, or you go straight to Google rather, and you want to search, if you look at that bar, if you look up, you will discover that the logo of the site or the company you want to enter is just there. Okay, it's by your search bar, either by the left, you see it there. That is to say, you can see it's visible, okay, and scalable. That, like I said before, I said you should consider scalability. Okay, stop representing your logos as mock-up. There's this era that has already passed, whereby you can bring in your mock-up, write text, put your phone number, depending on the client's phone number or the company's phone number, put icons, write the name of the company, then draw the mark and represent it on the wall. Please, that is not a logo. Any logo that is on the wall, looking like one color brownish or any color you use, please, that is not a logo. You can discover that whenever you want to design, those logos cannot be used to design. One, you have your phone numbers attached to it, it's a mock-up. You have your icons, you have the address of the company. Some persons go as far as putting phone numbers. That is not a logo. That is why when you see a brand, just by a logo, you would know that, okay, this is a luxury brand, this brand is into fashion, this brand is into drinks or beverages and the rest. These are the things you need to consider whenever you're creating a logo. If you have any question, the comment section is open for you to ask your questions, and I'll answer your question. Like I said, this is a series, so I wouldn't want to say everything in this particular tutorial. Okay, I will advise you to check other tutorials on logo here in my channel, so that you get acquainted with whatever project you're about to do or you're being given. Okay, so I'm going to be doing or creating some logos as time goes on practically, so you see how this thing works, okay, in this environment. Thank you. Do well to subscribe, like, share, and comment.